We'll bring you up to date on what's going on in NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, and anything else that has 2 or 4 wheels and races. That's Burning Rubber Radio right here on the Tan Talk Network. Burning Rubber's brought to you locally by BigStormBrewery.com. That's Burning Rubber Radio every Saturday at 1 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Tune in Saturdays from 3 to 5 p.m. for Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. That's 2 hours of great gospel music every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m., all brought to you by the Ozona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, you new to the area or just want to know about the best hidden gems and upcoming events? Stay tuned. Be Local Buzz with Devin takes you to these places, introduces you to the best businesses, and tells you about upcoming buzz. Preset your radio to Tan Talk 1340 AM or 106.1 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. That is the Be Local Buzz with Devin on Tan Talk 1340 AM and 106 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. Looking forward to speaking with you.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's now time for Connecting Caregivers with author, speaker, caregiver advocate, and talk show host, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for caregivers.
Caregivers around the world today, it's time to lift you up. It's time to celebrate. Good afternoon and welcome to Connecting Caregivers with me, Linda Burhans, back in the saddle. Yay! Back in the saddle, was away for 2 weeks, which was a big deal for me. I've never even been away that long. But had a fabulous trip to Portugal with my 3 cousins and my sister. So it was just really nice. And we were the group, and everybody in the group was just so nice and so friendly and everything, and it was really cool. So, and I feel a little tired from all that, but I also feel regenerated. You know, somebody said to me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." "Well, you're not talking that much." I go, "I'm on every single day. When I'm on vacation, I don't want to be Yep. So it was really good.
You had enough talkers with you.
Yeah, it was fine. So we have Ed on the board. Say, how you doing, Ed?
See, you're back from touring the globe.
Yes, I am back.
Yes.
I am back. And I got in a little after 11 last night and then left my phone in the car service.
Oh.
And the lady was so nice, she brought it back to me this morning. And in with my phone was my driver's license and my credit card.
Ooh.
So thank you, God. Well, we got to be friends when she was driving me home from the airport. When she got to my house, I gave her one of my books and everything, so she liked me. So that was good.
But you're right. A little silence once in a while is nice.
But, just when you first get home, and I got stuff going on, and I couldn't even sleep last night. I'm standing at my front door starting at like 5:30 this morning, waiting for my neighbor to walk his dog so I could borrow his phone. But it's back. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Christina. And with me is my best friend, co-host, and sidekick, not psychic, Lynn Thornley.
Hi.
Feel like
nice to have you back. Yeah, it's nice to have you back.
It's really good to be back. And with us today, we have my good friend, Jody Armstrong from the Disability Achievement Center. Hi, baby.
Yay.
How are you today?
Very good. Very good.
So the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to our newest listeners. We have Gilda in St. Pete. We have Shannon in Largo. And we have Mike in Tampa.
Welcome.
And like I always say, there's plenty of room around the Connecting Caregivers table for more listeners, whether you listen when we're on the radio or when you listen on YouTube or Facebook or wherever. We're just here to try to bring you help and hope and resources and a shoulder and a laugh, maybe a tear once in a while too. I know your journey is really difficult, but once again, I'm going to encourage you to get into a support group. I did a live support group at Arden Courts this morning, and the one woman that was there has been in the group for a long time. And she's like, I wouldn't have made it through without the group. I never would have made it through without the group. And she said, anybody that she meets when she's visiting her husband, she'll tell other caregivers that. So if you don't not comfortable with a live group, you can go to an online group. So I do groups also via Zoom, and you don't even have to show your picture if you don't want to. And you don't even have to talk if you don't want to. Maybe you just want to listen in the beginning and you see how it is and how you feel about that. But I strongly, strongly encourage that. So you can go to my website, lindaburhans.com, under events, and you'll find all that information. Also, coming up this Wednesday, I will be doing a presentation at Art and Courts of Largo titled From Hanging in There to Joyful and Grateful. Because I was there and I am there. And we're going to do journaling, expressions of gratitude, caregiving, and empathy, and most importantly, how we can find joy in the journey. And they'll give us a lovely lunch. So it is Wednesday, October 18th from 11:30 to 1:30 at Art and Courts of Largo, and you can RSVP at 727-559-8411. Also, another event with Art and Courts is going to be Friday, November 17th. And it's Harvesting Memories, a dementia caregiver workshop with Dr. Kate McCarty, who is just absolutely fabulous. And it's going to be at Seminole Assembly Ministries Church. So if you're interested in that, it's Friday, November 17th, 10 to 1. Lunch will be provided. I will be there because I will never want to miss Kate because I learn something from her every single time. And the number to RSVP for that is 727-517-7800, and I'll put all the information on my website. Let's see, anything else? One more. Two more. November 14th, Sean Scott is giving a free seminar at the Palm Harbor Library, Tuesday, November 14th from 2 to 4. You get to talk to an attorney for free. He knows his stuff, and he's entertaining at the same time. So I think you will enjoy that.
My sister liked him. She went and got her papers. It only took us 5 years to get her
But
there.
she did it. That's a really good thing.
And it is good. She loved him.
And last but not least, the Connecting Caregivers Conference registration is open, and that is November 14th, 15th, 16th. 3 days of virtual speakers. As long as you register, I don't expect you to sit there for 3 days and watch the whole thing because I can barely do it. As long as you register, you will receive all the videos of the conference within 30 days. Everything is free to caregivers. Just go to connectingcaregiversconference.com. You'll see the list of all the speakers and the presentations.
And it's easy. I even did it.
Yes, it's very easy. So please do that. I think you'll find at least one session that you're really going to be happy with. We'll have Sean Scott. We will have Accent Care Hospice. We will have Dr. David Bernstein, Dr. Brittany Lamb. We're going to have the Veterans Administration. We're going to have 911, prevent the fall, prevent the call. So a lot of really, and then we're having yoga and
A&E corner.
A&E corner with their adaptable equipment. So yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff there. But so today we're going to talk with Jody though, because you know how much I love the Disability Achievement Center.
Yep, we do good work.
Yes, you do. And so for the people that don't know what the Disability Achievement Center is, let's tell them first what that is.
Okay, let's start there. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Disability Achievement Center is the Center for Independent Living, and I know that's a term that nobody knows. And what that is, there are centers located throughout the entire country. Our purpose is to help anyone with a disability to live as safely and independently as possible. So given that, there's things that we do that help people stay safe and independent. And for seniors and for caregivers, one of the things, our biggest thing is our durable medical equipment program. We give walkers, rollators, wheelchairs, repairs to existing equipment, trapeze, shower equipment, Hoyer lifts, you name it. We're going to find it if we don't have it in our 2,500 square foot warehouse, and we install grab bars, we provide incontinence supplies, we even deliver food to those who can't get to it.
And it's so important because there are people that just need help and they don't know where to go.
They don't even know where to start.
Right. And they can call you or they can call me. We have resources here in fabulous Pinellas County area.
Amazing resources.
That we all work together. And then there are other people, which we've spoken about before, that have those equipment that they're not using anymore. And don't put it in the garbage.
Please don't. If you have a piece of equipment that you would let your mama or your grandma use, please donate it. We refurbish, sanitize, and give them to people who need them. So we're one of the largest this side of the state, and we do it in blue skies and gray skies, which is pretty awesome. I made a connection on Facebook with another organization, and it was an online. I watched it for a few days before I asked to join.
Yeah,
and it's Charlie's Closet, and it's folks with kids with disabilities. It's kind of like a swap thing. Do you need? I need. I'm looking for. So
My kid's bigger now. This is too little.
They've run out. I've got a stander. I've got a reacher. I'm looking for this. And so I joined and they approved my membership. And then I put who we are, what we did, and holy smokes, the number of responses and people need us. People need us.
They just need to know about it.
And so that word's getting out. And hopefully, there's been requests that I've had to go to my colleagues and go, you know what this is? Do we have anything like that? I'm learning new stuff because we don't really help a lot of kids because they're usually very well cared for up until the age 18. And that's when services drop off a cliff. But if we can help anybody, and I mean anybody, that's what we do.
Yeah. And it's, like I said, it's just finding out what is out there because many times people do without and they could get this for free and not know about it. And I'm telling you, I know some people that get incontinence supplies from the Disability Achievement Center, and it might be a choice. If they didn't get them from there, they might not be eating.
Right. Exactly.
And this is everywhere.
Or paying the utility bill.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You don't realize your next door neighbor or your neighbor across the street might need help and you don't even know about it.
Right. Because people are afraid to speak up. And then the other thing, our name, Disability Achievement Center, that's another kind of misnomer because we'll get seniors calling in and they need some help. And one of the things we have to ask, because we're federally funded, is what's the nature of your disability? And
I don't have a disability.
Exactly. I don't have. I'm just old, honey.
Yeah.
Or you don't have the money. That's a disability.
Yeah. Well, you need something because of a disability. You have a mobility impairment, or you've fallen, and you can't afford to put grab bars in your bathroom, or you can't afford to buy a walker, and you don't even know what a walker might be or a rollator might be.
You would need.
You don't even know what would work for you.
Right.
So these are things that we'll hold your hand, we'll take you through the entire process, and we'll stick with you for as long as you need us.
And so you were saying about food. So tell our listeners how that came about.
Oh, the food program. When COVID happened, and the bus system shut down to only 10 riders per bus, our consumers who use the bus system to go to the grocery store would get their groceries, and they sat that summer. That was summer of 2020, and they would sit outside and wait for the bus, and they watch full bus go by and full bus go by and full bus go by.
Ice cream's melting.
Everything's gone. All their perishables have perished, and they called us crying. And that's when we said, for months we're saying, we're not doing food. We're not doing food. We're not doing food. All of a sudden, we're neck deep into food. And the need is still growing. We thought we'd be able to wrap this up a year ago. And then inflation hit so hard.
Yes.
And it just got so bad. And we have no choice but to continue.
And we have fabulous people that contribute to us.
Yes. Yes. We're part of Feeding Tampa Bay. And I cannot say enough about Publix. If you shop anywhere else, please shop at Publix. I know they're a little more expensive, but the amount they give back to the community is beyond what I could ever imagine. They're so supportive and so wonderful to us.
Well, I can even remember years ago when I was going through a tough time when I had my kids and I was going to a food pantry.
Yeah.
And you see that Publix pecan ring there? I was like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
There was Publix would bring some nice stuff there.
They did. They really do. And we've got partnerships with other faith-based, and we're getting meats from other organizations. It's just
and
this
if you're
whole
an
community
organization,
thing.
You have food to donate. Don't be throwing no food away.
Right. Right.
Don't be throwing food away.
But we're not a normal food pantry.
Right.
And that's the one thing that kind of got out. We do food, but the way we do it is if you need food, you have to call us by 3:00 on Wednesday afternoons.
Okay.
We pick up from Feeding Tampa Bay. We take what we're allotted, our allotment, whatever we can, and with the bakery, and say we've got 20 households that need food that week. And what we do is we take what we have and we divvy it up 20 ways, and it goes. So it's not like people can come in and pick and choose what they want, but these are all foods that have to be prepared. And that's the one thing we let people, there's no hiding anything. It's like, this is how we work it.
Right.
And and at the same time, we're giving them the incontinence supplies. We're giving them the DME, the walkers, or the rollators that they need. We'll come out, deliver it all to you.
Well, especially since it's being delivered to them. Because so many people have a hard time getting out there, and so many seniors, and they don't go out, and they got a can of soup in the cabinet.
Yep.
Or whatever. And they'll be glad to cook it up, whatever it is, just to have that. And just, it's like we're just loving on them. We just
It's
want to
it.
help them.
And we really do. We kind of watched our numbers because we're at the end of our fiscal year at September 30th. So we're starting to look at our numbers. And even though as we've increased our volume, we know we're busier than ever because we're all scrambling every day of the week. And there's no downtime whatsoever anymore. And we're like, the numbers have to be off the charts. But we're wrapping around people. We're providing everything they need to keep them safe. And
people are finding out about it.
And the word's getting out, and which is great, because usually when you think disability, oh, that's not me. It's if you're not in this world, you're an automatic dismissal. Yeah. And it's okay, because, that's the way life is. Yeah. But when you need us, we're rock solid. We're here.
And we want to be there. We want to help you. I don't want to hear about people that don't have a walker that need a walker.
Or they
don't
keep
have a
falling.
shower bench.
Yeah, don't have a shower chair. Don't even grab bars. Don't put grab bars. Oh, you might need them, honey.
Yeah, or I don't have grab bars or a shower bench, so I'm afraid to go in the shower.
Right, that's what we find.
Or they buy those ones that they stick on and they fall off. Exactly. That's the worst thing because they put so much weight.
You can't beat our price.
Yeah.
It's free. Let us do this.
Yeah.
Let us do this.
Let us help you. So, if you even have a neighbor and you think that they might need some kind of help, just go over and have a little chat with them. Say, I was listening to the show today. There's some things you can get for free. Or if you have a neighbor that has some things that maybe their loved one has passed away, I think they would much rather donate it to someone and have someone use it than just toss it or just have it sitting in the den or whatever.
Right.
Or whatever.
Did you know we're getting a van?
You tell me about that.
Oh my
gosh.
Tell
everybody else about it.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited.
It's like Christmas.
This is a game changer for us. Total game changer. Because power chairs, we have no means. We use our personal vehicles to deliver everything we do. And we have no means to pick up a power chair. And we've had to turn down power chair donations left and right. And it kills us. It really, because those are big dollar things.
Yeah.
And
they really can change somebody's life.
They really can.
Yeah.
So we're working through insurances. They don't sell individual commercial standalone auto and policies anymore, which is the insurance industry must be just changing so rapidly. We can't even keep up. So we're struggling through to get a policy. And it's like, well, gee, who thought that would have been the barrier?
Yeah.
So
how did you get the truck?
Yeah. We were approved for ARPA funding, which is the American Rescue Plan funding, through Pinellas County. We've never gotten funding like that before or anything. So we were like, yes, a game changer.
Yeah. A game changer.
It is a game changer because that just means we can do so much more.
Yeah.
So much more.
Yeah, because we had a ramp van for my husband, and I wanted to get rid of it after he passed because I didn't want to drive something so big. But I couldn't get rid of it till I could find a place I could take the chair to.
Right.
Because you can't move them.
You can't move them afterwards, right?
No.
Yep. So that's what we're really excited about that.
And so where can people find you?
www.mydassel.org, DACIL, Disability Achievement Center for Independent Living.org.
Phone number?
That's the easiest way to get to us. 727-539-7550.
And somebody will answer the phone and talk to you.
Yep.
It's Christine's
do you have hours?
Christine, well, we're open 9 to 5.
Okay.
Christine's part-time and she's 9:30 to 2:30. And that phone gets answered and holy smoke, she's busier than I've ever seen anybody.
But it's so nice to be
ringing.
able to call because sometimes you got to call and 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 you got to call. You got to call this number. You got to push this button. You got to push that button. Just call them. They'll help you.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to go to a commercial break first because I think it's a wonderful time to hear from our partners. So we'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 So locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
Sean W. Scott has been practicing elder law and qualifying clients for Medicaid for over 30 years. While his practice is in all areas of estate planning, such as durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogates, and wills, he also prides himself on having a 100% accuracy rate on getting clients approved for Medicaid. Why Medicaid, you may ask? Do you want to pay up to $16,000 a month for a nursing home should the time come? Obviously, no one wants to have to endure this cost. So even though you may have planned well for retirement, the reality is things happen. Planning ahead is never too soon. You need to make sure your income and assets are protected so that you can take care of you and your loved ones. Florida law is very specific on how and what is protected and how to protect it. Give Sean a call. He can help. 727-539-0181. That's 727-539-0181.
My mom was getting older, but she was able to live pretty independently until recently. When her case manager told me she would be discharged from rehab in just a few days, I didn't know what to do. But I knew for sure that she couldn't go back living alone at home. So that's when I contacted Sunway's Senior Living Concierge. My Senior Living Concierge, Lisa, was there for me through the whole process and was a free service for us to compare in-home care options and how that cost would compare to assisted living. With Lisa's help, we found a great new home for Mom, and she is thriving. Take it from me, don't go through this journey alone.
Hi, I'm Ellie Baldwin, co-founder and president of Sunway's Senior Living Concierge. We're a free placement and concierge service for families to help compare senior living communities and find the best place for you or a loved one. Call us today at 727-314-6451 or find us online at sunwayseniorliving.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we're back. So before we continue with Jody, there's a couple things I want to remind you of before I forget. So the Field of Honor, my Kiwanis Club, we sponsor the Field of Honor from November 1st to November 30th at Seminole City Hall. And you can get a flag in honoring your loved one, a veteran, whether deceased or alive. On the flag, there's a streamer, and it'll say Tom Burhan's U.S. Army, their rank in the year, and it's $35. You can't beat it. It is so fabulous. And this year, we're having 600 flags.
Oh, my gosh.
600.
Oh, my gosh. Is that possible? Can you fit that many?
Well, there'll be some across the street.
Okay.
Thank you to Duke Energy. They're going to help us with some things because it's a lot of work.
I drove by it the other day. They have like 10 flags.
Yeah, I saw the 10. Yeah.
So, so please do that. And it's such an honor. It's such an honor, especially for people that are living that are vets, to come and see that somebody honored them with a flag like that. And pray for the month of November that we don't have too much bad weather, because both last year and the year before we had to take the flags down and put them back up because of a storm.
You're right.
Because they're like missiles, flying missiles.
Yeah.
So you can go to our Facebook page, Kiwanis Seminole Breakfast, or www.KiwanisSeminoleBreakfast.com. And we're pretty full, so do it soon. And one other thing I want to remind you of is health buddies can help. So if you have someone that is living alone and they're lonely and they just need to connect with somebody, or they just want somebody to call them, they have health buddies that will call them on the phone and chat with them. They're going to be on the show in a couple of weeks. I'll tell you a whole bunch more about that. They also have a second program where they'll actually send a buddy to your house to spend some time with you. So you can find more information about that at 813-492-8931 or seniorsinservice.link/health buddies info. I know that's a mouthful. I'll put it on the description of the radio show. Or as always, if you have a question and I talk too fast or anything, just email me and I'll get you the information.
Or you talk to New York.
Now, Seniors in Service does a heck of a job. They've got the health buddies, they've got the telepals. Yeah. They're just really, really good. And there's volunteers are waiting to help people.
Yes.
All you have to do is call and they'll pair you and do it. Just do it.
Yes.
And there'd be less scams for the people because they're so lonely in their house. And scam people call and they send them
fall
money.
for it because they just want to talk to
Because they
someone.
want to talk.
Yes.
So they
Yes.
want.
Yes.
So before our last break, you were talking about the food bank and something new with the food bank?
Yeah, this is Area Agency, another partnership with the Area Agency on Aging. They identified that folks needed nutritional drinks, the Boost, the Ensure, the low sugar. And so we partnered with them, and we now include that with our food program. So if somebody needs nutritional drinks, and we've got a lot of folks, this stuff's flying off our shelves.
Yeah.
We're getting it by the pallet, and it's just, it's just flying out of there. But so if there's someone in need, if you need nutritional drinks,
because
that's
they're
another
not
reason to call us.
affordable.
They're
very expensive.
All these things are unaffordable, and seniors on fixed income are having a difficult time. Just, I got this. this.
And you work your whole life.
And medications.
Yeah. Yes.
And you
Food or
work your whole life,
medication.
and you have to have your senior years that you have to be missing out on things because you can't afford it.
To eat. No, that's just
To eat, or to have
heartbreaking.
or
It
you
is.
need a nutritional drink, or or a walker.
Yeah.
So please tap into this. Tell people about it.
So let's talk about ramps.
Yes, let's talk about
Because the ramp
ramps.
program, we've been doing this for, golly, well more than 10 years with the recyclable aluminum ramps. And it's our highest demand program. I'll tell you right up front, we have over 100 people on our wait list, and it's about a 3-year wait. But when you get them, it is life-changing.
changer.
Totally. And we hit, for the first time, 75 ramps in the field.
Wow.
That is huge.
Now,
I can't tell you.
Someone help you with that?
It's all funding. Because we use recyclable aluminum ramps. We use one brand. And
But
when
there might be somebody who's got a lot of money in their pocket, wants to send you some money.
Please do.
And it will be put towards that.
Put towards a ramp. If you want to, each ramp is costing us now $7,800.
Whoa.
That's an average. There's some that are a little less, but that's the average cost now for regular. And for folks in mobile homes, you sit higher.
Yep.
And so those are even more expensive. And usually you have limited space, so we've got to wrap them around.
Yep.
And so that's what's added to all the cost is making it fit for the property.
Right.
But we're at 75 right now, and
75 people can go outside, can move around
that they've never been able to.
Yeah.
And the stories that we get, these are true success stories.
Yeah.
The one that we put in our newsletter, and every time I saw that picture, it broke my heart. The gentleman, he had a couple toes amputated, and he was coming home from a doctor's appointment, and the skies opened up and it started raining. And he did not have the energy or the strength to get up one stair. And it's pouring rain, so his wife runs in the house and gets tablecloths and puts tablecloths over him and calls 911 to help her in. That breaks my heart. It's heartbreaking. Just saying this is just heartbreaking. But we were able to get him a ramp, and that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
There's so much loss. I just feel the loss of dignity, the loss of it's like you feel helpless and hopeless. And there's folks that are just trapped inside their homes for years until we can get to them.
Well, I have to tell you, during COVID, so my daughter's a hairdresser, so during COVID, she started going to some of her seniors' homes to cut their hair outside.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid, they wanted a haircut. And she goes to one guy's mobile home one day, and she calls me and she goes, "Mom, there's a gaping hole in the floor, and he just has a piece of plywood over it, and he can't even get his wheelchair around the house or whatever." I'm like, and he's just stuck. So I call my friend Joel Quattlebaum.
Yes.
And Officer Joel Quattlebaum, my husband, to do a welfare
him.
check. And like a week later, Joel calls me and he said, "We're fixing the floor. He's getting a wheelchair ramp, all on a grant." And it changed that man's life. The neighbors came to my daughter crying. "You don't know what you did for that man."
Yes, we do know. We do know.
So there are things that are available. You need to ask.
Or people who can't get in their bathrooms, or you talk about the fear of falling in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's folks that will only shower outside.
Oh, God.
That's cold water.
That's cold water.
Yeah, and you should be
because
doing
they can't get into the bathroom.
Oh.
So there's stories like this day in, day out.
Yep.
So these 75 ramps, we hit 75. It's like, yes, because we take them in. The way we work it is we loan them to folks for as long as they need them, free of charge. And so every year they sign a new agreement. And we set eyes on those ramps every year to make sure they're in good condition. And so when they're done with them, they move away or they die, we'll take those pieces and we recycle them for the next one.
Yeah, right. As we should. And this program. But even with those pieces and parts, we're still at $7,800 for an average cost.
Right. And that's not installation, because our vendor does not charge us that much at all to do this, but it's the cost of the product.
Yeah.
And every parcel is unique.
So if somebody's out there, come on, there's money out there. There's somebody out there, help somebody out. Just one ramp. Just one ramp. Or if you have an organization, a club or something, maybe everybody could chip in $500 or whatever and get a ramp. Because when you think about it, you could be in that position one day.
Right.
And what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
And being stuck inside, I just cannot imagine that.
Isolation kills.
I've got one woman who's, she's a new consumer and she hasn't been outside in years.
I can't imagine.
So depressed. And that
she got out of rehab
depressed.
And they got her into her home and left her, and that's that. And she can't, there's no way she can get down any stairs. It's heartbreaking.
Watch out for your neighbors, everybody.
That's a really good piece of advice right there.
If you see a neighbor, you haven't seen them out in a while, or if you see somebody when they come to the mailroom, you're in there and they've got enough mail in their box for a month because they haven't been able to get even to the mailroom, please pay attention. Pay attention. We're pretty good about that when it comes to like a storm or something. Neighbors will say, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
And make sure somebody. But we need to do this all year round, and we're good. We get really good about doing that stuff during the holidays too. But we need to do this all year round.
Right.
And if you see a neighbor that's just a little isolated or they haven't gone out that much, when you go to the supermarket, when you get BOGO, just get something for them.
BOGO.
Love Publix.
Well, they copied Winn-Dixie.
Oh,
Winn-Dixie
really?
had it for years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's the two guys on the commercial.
Yeah, they had it for years, and I think it was killing Publix. So they came out with it.
I didn't know that.
But any BOGO you have anywhere, just please do that. Just get something for your neighbor. Just go knock on their door. Just make sure that they're okay.
Yep.
Because we don't know, and I've heard stories where all the time where people say, "We didn't know they needed help. We didn't know. Well, you have to maybe pay attention
because they're not going to speak up.
Right. Oh no,
they're not going to say a word.
Well, because they don't want to burden anybody, and they don't want to.
And they're embarrassed.
Yes,
and there's no reason.
And
to
they
be,
don't
but
want to take the chance that they might lose their independence.
Yes.
Yes, that's the biggest.
Now you're going to tell me, I'm going to have to go somewhere else, or something like that.
I've delivered food to folks, and they just start crying.
Yeah.
All my years, I've never had to ask for a thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
and bringing that food sometimes is just giving them a little attention too. When
I love to do that.
When I lived in New York, I used to make dinner one night a week for an elderly gentleman, and half the time I went there, I don't even think he quite cared about the food.
Yeah.
That somebody was coming by, that somebody was chatting for a while. He was all by himself.
Right.
His parents were gone. He never had any brothers or sisters. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it really made a big difference. And you know what? I had some great conversations with him.
Yeah.
Different things.
Everybody's
one week
got
I would
something.
go, there'd be like a Booth Eisenhower poster in his kitchen. And then another week I go, there's like a wind-up Victrola.
Holy moly.
So he was interesting, kind of thing. So, just chat with some people.
Yeah.
Just please do that. So
I love that.
So we talk about the ramps, but what's always close to my heart before we get to the other stuff we want to talk about is the Moby mats.
Yes.
The Moby
So just mention the Moby mats, please.
Yes.
Because that's another gift.
The Moby mats, they're beach access mats. And I can rattle off all the locations very quickly, but I'm not going to do it because it'll just, like, what?
Yeah.
But helpusgather.org, that's the name of the website. Their parent company is the funder, and they have a listing of all of the Moby mats available. But these
and
are
a Moby mat is?
A beach access mat. It's a mat. It's a woven plastic mat that can accommodate a wheelchair, a walker, a rollator, if you've had a knee replacement, a hip replacement, if you have hearing loss, or you're just unsteady on your feet. These mats, everybody's using them. Once they're down, nobody's walking around them. They're going right on them because they're cool in the summer. They don't sink in the sand, and it's just easier to walk on.
How do they not sink in the sand?
That's the design. That was how they were designed. They were designed for the war in Afghanistan to enable helicopters to land in the desert. So they would take these. They needed something to roll out to be able to accommodate these. So all the sand didn't blow everywhere as well. So they would take these, roll these out. Helicopters come in, drop off their stuff, and there they go. They roll them back up. Each 50-foot section of them is about 48 pounds. So they're not heavy. So in storms, the beach municipalities
have to
roll them up, because then they will sink, because the sand gets blown over them or whatnot. So
you open in Sand Key?
Yes. There's one of the biggest ones. It's about 500 feet.
That's a deep beach
That's a deep beach.
I know, because I lived on Sand Key, and my husband used to say, "Oh, you can't walk on the beach. You can't." I just looked at him and I said, "You never walked on it before." If they had a mat, I would have said,
"Sure, you can."
Yep. Yeah, and he would have gone, "Oh, not today."
And there's so many people that's why they live in Florida. They love the beach.
Yes, that's why we moved here.
All of a sudden, you can't go there anymore.
And
you can't go see a sunset. You can't.
Right. That got me, because years ago, before I got involved in the community and whatnot, I found myself, I was on the beach and I was like, why did I move here? What is it? Why am I here? How did I end up here? And it was like, it's the sand. We have the most beautiful beaches anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
People come from all over the world.
All over the world they come from. And so when your relatives come down to have a week at the beach, grandparents are staying at the seawall going, have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's not right, because you're missing out.
Right.
Yeah.
So all these mats, they don't go all the way to the water. Just right up front, they don't go to the water because FDEP, the permitting entity, will not allow it.
Okay.
We've got as much as we can. This is as good as we can. But I found another partner agency, a nonprofit, that she does accessible beach days, and she will tag onto the Moby mat, that as far as it is, roll hers out to the water, bring the adaptive equipment for the water, and have adaptive beach days.
Wow.
So there's ways around what's permitted, but it can happen.
That's cool that you hooked up with her.
Yes.
And she has her own mat?
She's got almost 100 feet of mat of her own. So that's what she uses to roll out. But she's dynamite, and I try to support her every chance I can, because that's a missing link. Yeah. And we want as many of these links connected to provide equal access. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Everybody can get there, and that's what we want to see.
Everybody should be able to get there.
Exactly. There's no reason why.
It's like, this world is only for certain people. This beach is only for certain people. Thank God years ago we started changing the laws, that there was handicap spots, that there's handicap bathrooms,
right.
That there's, there was nothing years ago.
And
there shouldn't be. Everybody should be. Just because you have a handicap or a disability doesn't mean that your life should stop.
Right.
And just remember, it could happen to anybody.
We're only one accident or illness away from being a person with a disability.
You could walk out the door today and get hit by a car.
Yep.
And you don't know what it's going to be.
Right.
So really pay a lot of attention to that.
Yep.
Okay, so another thing you and I have been talking about lately is support groups and the value of support groups.
Yes. We've gotten a lot of calls recently, and we see they come in, the men come in, their wives are in the car, they're getting equipment and products for their wives, and they're
lost.
terrified to leave them, terrified to leave their wives. And you can tell, you see the burden on their shoulders. We need a support group for guys.
Yeah.
Guys caring for their wives.
And I did a support group years ago.
Right.
For men, and it was called Caregiver Clubhouse. And it made a really big difference, because men have different issues. And how that group started was that the support groups I always do are men and women, but it would always be just one or two men.
Right.
Mostly women.
Right.
And one of the guys said to me one day, Linda, can we please have a group just for men? Because we have some different issues.
Right. Exactly.
And I was like, sure. And they're like, do you think you can handle us? I said, I will do the best that I can. But it made it such a difference. Because I think it's harder for men to take care of their wives. They are not in that They weren't the nurturer. They weren't
They don't have any.
They're the provider.
they're
they're the provider, not
provider.
the nurturer. However, they're having to do both now.
Right. And they love their wife so dearly, and they
Yes.
don't know what to do,
Yes.
and they don't know about resources or where to go.
Right.
And sometimes just having I'll never forget one day, there was 5 guys that came to the group regularly, and other ones would come in and out. You know how it goes. And one day, I'm at the office, and my 5 guys didn't show up. None of them showed up. One new man showed up, but I'm still getting worried about my guys. They're my guys. Well, I spend like an hour with the new man. Of course, I got to spend some time with them. And then I start calling up my guys. Oh, well, 3 of them went fishing and 2 of them went golfing because that's what you told us to do, Linda.
Not on my time.
You're never allowed to do that.
Not on my time.
Yeah, not on my time.
But you know what? I was so delighted that they did that because that was one of the things that I was always promoting with them. You know, you guys should try to do something together. And now all the women have passed away.
Yeah.
And 2 of the men have passed away. But 3 of them still do stuff together.
That's awesome, and that's it. That's the way life continues, and you know, that's beautiful.
I mean,
That's
I can remember this one guy, Dick. And he, in the beginning, he used to bring his wife to the support group when it was, you know, the co-ed one. And he would walk in and he'd say to me, "How does her hair look? Do those clothes match good on her?" You know,
But it's hard for men.
Right. If you don't, you never do. What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
Never
just-
thought of that.
Yeah. He just wanted her to look nice and be nice and feel pretty, you know. And does her hair, does that look good, Linda? You know?
Wow.
And it's so sweet.
So that's what we're working on.
We are working on it. In fact, I'm meeting with Walmart this week, and we're going to talk to them about it because it seems like they're getting into the senior arena a little more in some different ways than they were before.
Yep.
Which is absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Because this is it's an issue for everybody.
It's a need. There's a gap in there, and we've got to help. We've got to support each other, and that's one way that can absolutely totally help.
And I'm sure people like Walmart see this all the time. How many seniors are in Walmart? I'm sure they see people that are struggling.
because their prices still are the best.
Yep. Yeah. I'm sure they see people that are struggling, even walking with their carts. I'm sure that there's people sitting in the car in the parking lot that have dementia while the other one's running in trying to get something.
Yep.
You know, we have to start taking a lot of other things into consideration. You know, it's even as employers.
Yep.
You know, many employers have childcare, which is so fabulous. How about we have some adult daycare? So I could go to work. You know, I used to be a corporate speaker. I would go to a corporate trainer, go to a lot of big companies. They would have a gym. They would have childcare. Well, what about adult daycare? How cool would that be? If I could go to work and bring mom or dad or whoever, my husband, my wife, to there, I could come down at lunchtime and see them if I want.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because how many people are facing this?
Yeah.
You know, I think Disney should do it. Disney has a place where you can bring your dog while you're in Disney.
That's right.
Yep. Well, wouldn't it be cool if you could go there with mom and maybe she could only do 1 attraction or 2 attractions? And then she could go hang out at the daycare and get entertain whatever they do there.
With Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, and what they love, right?
That's a good idea.
And not be exhausted. And so as employers...
And still get to experience it with the family.
Yeah, not get kicked out.
Right. Or left behind.
Right.
And
Especially, can you imagine somebody that's a Disney freak?
Yeah.
You know, some people are really Disney
Yes,
freaks.
they are.
And all of a sudden, they're a certain age now, they can't go no more.
Right. Yeah.
Like Brian.
Yeah, like Brian. Yeah, so I don't know how far we reach here, but you never know who knows who.
Right.
And just
got to keep throwing it out there, putting it out in the universe here.
Exactly. If you don't throw it out, nothing's ever going to happen with it. So employers, please think about that. And if you work for a company, go in and approach your employer. You know, I'm sure there are plenty of people in the workplace that are caregivers that their employees don't even know they're caregivers because they're afraid I won't have as good job performance or whatever. And they're sneaking out at lunch to take mom to the doctors or to
You
check
could
on
combine them because elderly people like little kids.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things we get, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they have those communities now where they have like a college dorm and seniors are living there and college students.
Yes.
So the college students get a lesser rent, but they have to do like 20 hours a week with their senior.
Yep.
And they said, well, the seniors are walking around with like football jerseys on, you know, now they know the teams. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind some nice young 20-year-old student coming and helping
Bring
me,
it.
you know, taking me grocery shopping or something like that.
Sure.
So it works both ways. I mean, we're all worried about it. All the rents are going up, all the prices are going up, right? So we need to find ways that we can work together.
Yeah.
that we
That's a
can
good
work
solution.
together. Yeah.
That's a good solution.
Yeah. I just want to like win the millions, and then I would just go around and do all this stuff.
You got to play first.
Yeah. No, the first thing I would do is get myself a pilot and a plane. Yeah.
I got the pilot. I'm the pilot. You don't have a I don't have a plane anymore.
We'll get a plane. I didn't know you were a pilot.
I have all my flight ratings.
Oh my God. I took a few flying lessons years ago, but never went. Don't you just love it?
It was my sanity for many years. I was actually trying to become a commercial pilot, and things just didn't work out. So it wasn't in the plan, but it wasn't for my giving it my best Girl Scout shot.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Somebody won the 1.7 billion.
Oh,
Yeah, they did in California.
Yeah.
When I was in Portugal, and we don't hear nothing about that. So
I buy one ticket. Just so
Well,
that
I mean,
because I
win.
never do. I only do it when it's in the billions, because who cares about millions? But yeah, and I bet someone won it.
Oh, well, good for them.
Well, it starts all over again. You'll have another shot.
I wish not just one person won it. I wish like 10 people won it.
Well, you sound like
how much do you need?
You sound like
how much
Frank.
do you need?
He said, "Oh, it would be better if it was 10 people." I said, "What if you were the winner?" Oh well, that'd be different.
That might be different. All right, now it's time to hear from our wonderful partners. So you know the deal. If you don't hear from them, you don't hear from me. So we'll talk to you in a couple minutes.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Choosing the right chiropractor is an important choice to make. Located in Seminole, the Alexander Spine Center team is trained on the latest chiropractic treatments and technologies. At Alexander Spine Center, you'll find chiropractic and physical therapy care that is safe, effective, and a natural approach to pain and other health-related issues. Chiropractic unlocks your body's potential and natural healing process to ensure your life is a healthy life. We treat clients from the womb to the tomb. Call 727-397-3000 for a free consultation today, or visit our website at www.alexanderspinecenter.com.
They take good care of me twice a week, so check them out.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
We believe the power of the human body and mind can do amazing things, and that tapping into that power, not just tricking it with a temporary disguise, is possible. Superpatch technology uses a special pattern and vibrotactile technology to help you go from feeling blah to hurrah. Now, once the Superpatch is in contact with your skin, it triggers a neutral response in the brainstem that helps you tackle your daily problems head on. Whether you're struggling with pain, balance, stress, or focus, we have a solution that might be right for you. With Superpatch's 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Hi, this is Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers. I started using the Liberty Patch over 3 years ago. I used to be a tripper, but since wearing the Liberty Patch, I haven't tripped once. The Liberty Patch is proven to reduce the risk of falling by up to 8 times. And as we all know, if you prevent the fall, you prevent the call. Don't wait until it's too late. Preventative solutions are the answer.
Superpatch does not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure illness. Superpatch is FDA registered. To receive 25% off your first order, go to sticktoit.info. That's sticktoit.info and learn more.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, those patches are the best thing since sliced bread. And remember, they're drug-free. While I was in Portugal, some people were complaining, she's like, I should be having this knee surgery, but I don't want to get it done. And her knees were all swollen, and they were really hurting her. And she tried the pain patch, and she was like, oh, my God, Linda, this is the first day my knee hasn't hurt since I've been on the trip. So it makes a difference. And there's a 28-day money-back guarantee, 30-day money-back guarantee. So just check it out. So, What else is going on at the Disability Achievement Center?
We're always coming up with something.
I know you're always good. That's why I could have you on the show every month because you'll be telling me something new.
Different. Yeah. Well, last month, a couple months ago, we launched a prosthetic upcycling program where we accept used legs and hands, and what we're going to do is retrofit them, do a socket fit, so that folks amputees who need limbs, we can provide them for them. So that's a new program.
Isn't that crazy?
But now we're coming up with, starting in January, we're going to do a quarterly luncheon. We're calling it Noontime Knowledge. And we are going to put it out there, and the first 15 people who respond will come in and be invited, and we're just going to have lunch. We'll provide lunch, and we get 1 hour, and we get to talk about who we are, what we do, what you do, and everybody else. We do a quick roundtable, and everybody learns something.
Yeah, and that's such one of the most wonderful things about being in this Tampa Bay area.
There's a lot of resources,
together, and we need to put that time so that we can work together, so we do have time to know each other, because we're flitting around here and we're flitting around there.
Yeah,
and I know you've done some marketing and networking in Pasco
all the time.
Some of the connections that you tell me that you make just from those meetings is unbelievable.
There's just so many good people out there trying to help.
Yeah,
and that's what we want to do. We want, and what we want with this Noontime Knowledge, because usually when I'm out and about, you get me. Yeah, you only get me. And my staff, I've got an awesome staff that I work with.
Yeah.
And so you get all of us. And that's what we want Noontime Knowledge to be, is all of us. You get to pick our brains. We get to pick yours. And
exactly.
And that's
isn't it nice for the people that are working there to see the people that they're working with?
Right.
And that's quarterly.
Right. Quarterly. So we're going to start in January. We were going to try the end of this year, but the year is just kind of wrapping up so fast we can't keep up. So it's going to be Noontime Knowledge. So with one of our newsletters, I send out a newsletter every month, is going to have that information, and then we'll just see how it goes.
It'll go fabulous. I know it'll go fabulous.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, I want you to go to connectingcaregiversconference.com. I wanted to say thank you so much for you being here today.
I love being with you guys.
Please give the website one more time.
www.mydassel.org, 727-539-7550.
I just got a message on Facebook of one of our listeners said, I used to fly with my mother who had a pilot's license. I know her mom passed away about a year ago. So
that's awesome.
Cool.
I did get, when I was taking flying lessons, I was in 99, and I got to fly with some of the women that World War II, that they were pilots in World War II. They had
women pilots.
Yes, they did. They had ferry airplanes.
99
the women's
club?
night. Yeah.
Okay, so my stepmother Heidi, her sister was like the president of that.
Oh yeah, there's chapters all over the country, and it started.
There's old stuff in a museum about her.
Oh yeah, that was a great organization. Yeah, great organization.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for being with me today. I know how precious your time is. Just like I say, here to help you in any way I can. Check on your neighbors. Check on your neighbors. And if you know anybody that has a little cash in their pocket and they're looking for something to do, whether contact us, and because we have a lot of really good causes that are going on. See you next week. Remember, God loves you all the time, and have a delicious day.